All right, y'all, we're going to do a quick market update here. The November 2023 market statistics just came out from the Austin Board of Realtors, and it's kind of as we expected. Everybody knew the market was slowing down as we got into the holidays here. Rates really did peak back in November too, so this will explain a lot of what's going on when I go over the market stats here. So the median sales price in the Austin Round Rock MSA is down to $424,450. So that's down from, it was up close to $500,000. At the peak, I want to say 465 was the high, and it maybe even got a little higher than that. But now it's down closer to 400. And you absolutely see that a lot when you're looking outside of the Austin area. Even in Austin, you can see a lot of houses in the $400,000 to $500,000 range with an Austin address. Occasionally, houses in the mid $300,000 range with an Austin address. And then if you get further out, if you get Round Rock, Hutto, Kyle, Buda, those types of areas, you absolutely can buy a house in the low 300s now. And that's awesome. The hard part is the interest rates are higher. So what we're seeing happen with almost every transaction is either the buyer or the seller is paying for an interest rate buy down. And good news is interest rates have recently gone down. So they peaked around 8%. Now they're down right around 7% for people with great credit. And again, we're applying these interest rate buy downs to this. So people are doing a temporary or a permanent buy down, getting it down as much as 2% that first year. And I think most everyone thinks that rates are going to continue to go down. So I think we'll see them settle somewhere in the mid fives here over the next year or two. Again, nobody knows. I absolutely don't know. I'm not a mortgage lender, and your guess is as good as mine. But we're seeing rates go down now, and we're seeing people use those buy downs to get them down in the sixes and even in the fives. So again, median sales price in November was $424,000. Median sales price in October was $435,000. So of course, getting into the slower season there, the median sales price dropped. Closed sales dropped. 2,065 sold in November versus 2,337 sold in October. So again, slower season. We all knew that was going to happen, and we should not be surprised. Average days on the market was up. We hit 75 days on the market on average. New listings actually up 11% year over year, so 2,676 new listings, but that's versus 3,202 in October. So again, less, but more than last year. Active listings, we were at 9,334 in November, and that's down from 9,942 in October. So some sold in October. Not a lot of new people listed compared to, like I said, October, but we still have over 9,000 on the market. That's quite a bit more than we have had in the previous year or two. Pending sales, it's actually up 9% year over year, 2,065 versus 2,257 in October. Keep watching that trend downward. I think we're going to see the same thing in December, because what we saw was December was notably slower than November. So when I do this market update next month, don't be surprised if we're saying, hey, December was notably slower, but we're starting to see a lot of pickup leading into January. So the total sales dollar volume was 1.3 billion with a B. In October, it was down to 1.11 billion with a B in November. Pretty significant drop. But months of inventory is down. So that's a measure of inventory. It was 3.9 months of inventory. I think we saw it even creep up to 4 in September. It was down to 3.7 months of inventory in November. So eventually, with these things keep trending the way we're seeing a lot of buyers get back into the market now for January. We're seeing a lot of sellers hanging out and waiting for January, and we're actually seeing interest rates drop into January. I think we're going to see a very healthy housing market here in the spring. Interest rates seem to have peaked. They seem to be coming down, and buyers seem to be shaking off the rust and saying, okay, I've been wanting to buy that house for the last year or two. I'm finally ready to do it because things do seem to be trending in the right direction. I read a report from the National Association of Realtors here this morning. It says Austin Round Rock MSA has the most pent-up buyer demand of any market in the country. I also read a report recently that the Austin Round Rock MSA was again the fastest growing metro in the country. So we have a lot of things going for us here. And again, I think we're going to see a really healthy housing market here in the spring. So if you're a buyer, don't wait for everybody else to jump in before you jump in too. I'm seeing a lot of that of, hey, I'm waiting to see what happens. I'm telling you, we're seeing interest rates go down. We're seeing a lot of buyers get back into the market. But we do see a lot of sellers coming back too. So I don't think we're going to see those crazy bidding wars and just this outrageous housing market we've seen in the past. Again, I think we're going to see a healthy market. And again, if you're buying right now with a high interest rate, get the seller to pay for an interest rate buy down for you temporarily, and then you can refinance when rates go down in the future, or get the seller to pay for a permanent rate buy down that makes more sense for you. The options are endless. If you're a buyer, start thinking about what you're going to do here because you don't want to be waiting until everybody else jumps into it. If you are a seller, now we're past the point. I am recording this at December 18th. We're past the point of that you're probably going to list in this year. If you came to me today and said, hey, Jordan, I want to list my home right now, I'd say, let's wait 2 weeks. Let's wait 3 weeks. I'm selling my own home, and we could have listed it here this year, but we chose to wait. We are waiting until the second week of January. Again, I'm not saying that's the perfect time to sell, but for us, we're moving out here soon, and rather than list it now, we're going to wait. So I would recommend if you're looking to list immediately, wait a few weeks, wait till January, wait till everybody gets out of the holidays and starts thinking about, hey, I'm going to buy a home. But if you're a seller, start getting your home ready to sell. If you have any interest in selling it here in the spring, you want to be ahead of the curve, and you want to make sure that you have everything perfect so you can get that home on the market and get top dollar for it in the peak buying season, which is spring into early summer. So absolutely take advantage of that. Again, if you're a buyer, get started sooner rather than later. If you're a seller, start getting ready. But reach out to us if you need anything here at the Moorhead team. We're always here to help you with any real estate needs in Central Texas. You can always email me at jordan.moorhead@kw.com. Make sure to like and subscribe and drop a comment below with any questions you have.